I remember the night she told me she was working late again. I wasn't suspicious. After all, we had been married for 5 years. We had built a life together, a solid foundation. She was my partner, my best friend, the person I trusted more than anyone. But as the hours passed and she still hadn't returned, something deep inside me felt wrong. It felt like something was missing. So I did something I never thought I'd do. Please subscribe to our channel. It means the world to us and helps us bring you more amazing stories. It wasn't like me to snoop. I'd always respected her privacy. We'd always been open with each other, sharing everything from our successes to our struggles. But that night, the silence, the absence, the little things that didn't add up, it all started eating at me. I had been noticing subtle changes over the past few weeks, but I shrugged them off. I told myself I was overthinking. Maybe she was just tired. Maybe work had piled up. But that night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. My instincts were screaming at me. I decided to check her phone. It wasn't something I would normally do. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. But the little voice inside me told me I had to. Something was wrong, and I had to know what it was. I reached for her phone. It was laying on the kitchen counter. She had left it unlocked, but I hesitated. I wasn't sure if I should, but my curiosity, my gut feeling pushed me forward. My hands trembled slightly as I picked it up. I unlocked the phone, staring at the screen. For a moment, I felt sick. I didn't know what I was hoping to find, but I couldn't ignore the feeling that I needed to see it. I scrolled through her messages. At first, it seemed innocent enough. Texts from friends, reminders for the kids' soccer practice. But then, there was one message that stood out. A simple text from a name I didn't recognize. "I can't wait to see you tonight." My heart sank. My throat tightened. I didn't know who it was, but I could feel a sickening knot in my stomach. I told myself to stay calm. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a friend, a coworker. Maybe it was an innocent message, but deep down I knew it wasn't. The words felt intimate, too personal. I kept scrolling. Each message I read felt like a dagger in my chest. Flirty texts, plans to meet up, and photos of her that I had never seen before. In some, she was laughing, smiling in a way I hadn't seen in months. In others, she was seductive. The woman I thought I knew was not the woman who had been sending these texts. She wasn't the woman I had married. My hands went cold and the phone slipped from my grasp onto the counter. My heart was pounding in my chest. I had to sit down. I couldn't breathe. The world around me felt like it was spinning, unraveling. My thoughts were racing. I thought I was dreaming, but the cold reality was too much to ignore. My wife had been seeing someone behind my back. I didn't know how long I sat there, staring at the phone, unable to process what I had just uncovered. The woman I trusted with everything, my love, my heart, my life, had been betraying me. She had been seeing someone else. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. And then I found a photo. It was of her and him, together, laughing, her eyes sparkling in a way I hadn't seen in years. She looked happy, happier than I had seen her in months. And I was left wondering, was I the one who didn't make her happy? Was I the one who wasn't enough? I picked the phone back up, my hand shaking. I needed answers. I needed to confront her. I couldn't sit in the dark anymore. This couldn't be ignored. She needed to tell me the truth. I waited. The minutes dragged on like hours. I paced the room, my mind racing. My thoughts were a jumbled mess. I thought about everything, the way she used to smile at me, the late nights, the missed calls, the excuses that never made sense. All the little things I had ignored, hoping they were nothing. But now everything was crystal clear. She had been lying to me. For how long? Months? Maybe more. And I had never suspected a thing. When she finally came through the door, I didn't know what to say. I wanted to scream, to shout at her, but I didn't. My emotions were all over the place. Anger, confusion, hurt. But I had to stay calm. I needed the truth no matter how painful it was. I looked at her and I asked the question that I already knew the answer to. Where were you? She froze. Her eyes widened, and for a moment, I saw fear flash across her face. That was when I knew. The guilt was all over her. She didn't even try to deny it. She knew I knew. I'm sorry, she said, her voice trembling. I didn't want you to find out like this. I looked at her, stunned, unable to find words. How long? I finally managed to ask. How long have you been seeing him? She hung her head, unable to meet my gaze. Months. It's been months. I never wanted it to happen. It just did. I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. She had been seeing him for months, and I had been kept in the dark. My mind raced as I tried to process the words she was saying, but I couldn't. The pain, the betrayal, it was too much. She explained how it started, how they had met through work, how their friendship had slowly turned into something more. It wasn't planned, she said. It just happened. But the more she talked, the more I felt like I was losing her all over again. She wasn't the woman I had married. She wasn't the woman I had trusted. I never wanted to hurt you, she said, tears in her eyes. I was just so lonely. And he made me feel seen again. I didn't know how to respond. The words felt hollow. All I could think about was how I had been the one left behind, the one who wasn't enough. She had gone to someone else for what she needed, someone who could make her feel special again. And I wasn't that person. I could feel the anger rising within me, but I didn't let it out. Instead, I looked at her. I can't do this anymore, I said, my voice tight. I can't live with this lie, with you lying to me every single day. I trusted you. I loved you. But you've broken that trust, and I can't get it back. She begged me to stay. She apologized over and over again. She promised it would never happen again. But the words didn't mean anything anymore. How could they? How could I believe anything she said when the foundation of everything we had built together had been shattered? Sometimes the hardest thing you can do is walk away from someone you love, I said quietly, my voice shaking with emotion. But it's the only choice when betrayal is at the heart of it. I walked away. I packed my things. I left. I couldn't stay in the house, in the life that had once been mine, knowing what had happened. I didn't know where I was going, but I had to leave. As I stepped out the door, I thought about everything we had shared, the good moments, the laughter, the love. But all of that was now tainted. It was a lie. And the worst part? I didn't know who I had been living with all these years. I don't know where she is now. I don't know what happened with him. But I do know one thing: I'll never let anyone take my trust from me again. I can't. If you've been through something like this, leave a comment below. I want to hear your story. And remember, trust is everything. Don't let anyone take it from you.